Hello, thank you for being here. I wanted today's video to be a bit about how to handle the stress that may be permeating your life right now, depending on how you react to the election, how you react to the way some people are behaving, and how do you react to coping with people around you who have made choices that could directly affect your life in a possibly negative way. On top of that, the stress you may feel because you're thinking about the future, the next 4 years, potentially leaving this country. How do you pull that off? How do you get your energy and your mindset so you can actually pull that off? How do you deal with all of that on top of just regular personal challenges that we all may have, whether you're neurodivergent, just a messy person, or you're not great at organizing the details of your life just in general, or you just have a busy day at work, and when you get home, you don't have a whole lot of energy. So, thinking about all these things, it's important for us to consider giving ourselves the time of day to regulate our nervous system, as well as see that process as a way of strengthening yourself and giving yourself not so much a buffer, but more of a stance, a strong presence with which to deal with all of these variables, as well as be selective and wiser in how you react to it all. I know there's a lot of rhetoric outside, and some of it is completely justified, about cutting people off, about stepping back and resting. All of that is much needed for some people because we may be around folks that we need to detach from. But I want us to consider that when we make the choice to do that, that we don't cause ourselves any emotional and internal structural damage. And what I mean by that is, yes, if there are toxic people in your life, you don't need to be around them. You really don't. But going forward, and I can say this as someone who grew up a blue dot with brown skin in Southwest Louisiana, there is a way in which you have to figure out a way to live, be vibrant, have community, deal with certain people all day long, and not always walking around feeling negative about the environment you're in. So I will proceed further by saying, take care of yourself. Consider work that has to do with regulating your central nervous system. And whether that be meditation for you, whether you opt into doing some kind of sensory and energetic process similar to what I'm offering, but take care of yourselves, because the next however many years are going to be challenging. We're going to be faced with moments where we have to make choices we never had before, where we have to decide how we're going to cope. We're going to have to decide how to be resilient about something very different than we've ever had to be resilient about before. So I'll end this video right now by asking you to just close your eyes and imagine your breath being a force. So you're breathing in deeply, slowly, consciously, and then you're breathing out in a similar way. And as you do that, make a decision to engage with your internal energy. When you do that, it's like you're saying, if it was me, hey, Melanie, I'm here. What are we working with? What do I need to move around? What do I need to let go of? And how do I stand strong? How do I take care of myself in a way that isn't fully conscious mentally to me? But how do I reach that core within me that says, I respect my own inner wisdom, and I'm choosing going forward to listen to it. So continue breathing in a deep, slow, conscious way. And then I want you to bring your focus to your tailbone. And that means bring your inner eye, just as if I said, pay attention to your finger. How does your finger feel without you actually looking at your finger? Your mind will automatically go to that finger, pointer finger, if you want to pick one. And say, how does it feel? Is it cold? Is it rough? Just think about that. So I'm bringing your awareness to your tailbone, and I want you to know that at your tailbone, there is presence of energy. And that energy that exists connects all the way deep into the core of the earth, and it also exists going upward, following a pathway all along the front of your spine, going up and up and up into your neck, into the connection of your spine to your head, and straight up into your brain, and going upward past your crown, if you know about chakras, and upward, connecting above. There is an energy line that works this way. It goes straight through you. If you do yoga, you probably know about energy lines. If you do a martial arts, you know about it as well. But this energy exists. It's there for you to engage with. It is a source of power for you. You may hear people talking about accessing themselves within to perform alchemy. This is a bit about what this is, but I want to get really basic. This is without the fancy words and the spiritual community likes to use. It is alchemy, but I'm not going to use that word a lot. I'm talking about your energy, your gut, and getting in touch with that. Now, if you use your imagination, and your imagination is going to be much needed in this process, it's also about you trusting that this part of you is real. It's real. So imagine there's a line of energy from above, going in 300 feet into the sky, all the way down to the core of the earth. And in right this moment, you make a decision to recognize it, to acknowledge it, and begin to consider trusting it. Take a deep breath, consciously, slowly, and at some point along this line of energy, which sometimes can be called the midline, I want you to go to the heart area. And I want you to imagine that at that part of your body, your energetic body, there is beautiful energy there for you. I want you to pay attention to where you Whether you feel stiff there, tense there. Do you feel open? Do you feel closed? Can you entertain the idea that you can be open, yet at the same time, your energy from above and below knows when to protect you, and it knows when to come with everything you have. There's a reason why the word courage has a Latin root that ties to the heart. There's a lot going on there for you. And so I encourage you to consider sensory and energetic awareness of yourself. And as you play with this idea as a form of practice for yourself, you could find an avenue to deal with the massive change that is going on in this world, to deal with the individuals and personalities and values that surround you that appear and can directly affect your life. So how do we balance all this stuff? One way is through energy work. And so I leave you with this awareness of your energy in a different way that maybe you're used to. And I asked you to consider the idea of working in a group dynamic so that you can do this in a way where we create a field that when we do it as a group together, we can amplify each other's power and our ability to reckon with this world. So take care of yourselves, be in touch with that inner world, and I'll see you next time.